whatever it may be in your personal life or professionally, is thinking that somehow they operate as two separate entities, because it gives us a false sense of security that we can function when something major is happening in one or the other. And if you believe that they're two separate entities, the first thing that will happen is the minute the pressure goes up, and if you think you can separate them, that to me is where burnout starts.
Here's a snippet from an interview I did on the Negotiate Anything podcast with Kwame Christian earlier this year.
And this gives us a really great opportunity to talk about burnout more in particular, because I know the career wellness renewal program that you have is what's most popular because so many people are dealing with burnout. And I think what we could do with the remainder of the time is identify those things that often lead to burnout. And then we can talk about how to have those conversations to really fight that burnout process. So let's just start off by identifying the major causes of burnout in the workplace.
So some of the major causes of burnout, just like we talked about in the employment life cycle, it's a holistic thing, right? But your life is not two functions. It's not your job and your life. They're one and the same. And teaching people through our career wellness program we call Renew, that you have to think of your life in totality in the workplace and personally. And if you think you can separate them, that to me is where burnout starts, because you're in the workplace functioning, doing what you have to do, making a living for you and your family, getting the paper chase, the grind, the hustle, whatever you want to call it. And if you believe that they're two separate entities, the first thing that will happen is the minute the pressure goes up in one area or the other, and I promise you, if you're listening, it will go up as long as you're living and breathing, whether that's personally, something will impact you, or professionally, something will impact you, or an additional ask or a restructure, or something's going to happen in the workplace that's going to exude pressure on your life. And if you're operating with your personal life and your professional life thinking that they're somehow separate, the other one will influence the other and then put pressure on the other one. So if it happens in your professional life,
are you feeling stuck in your career still? Are you finally ready to stop going through the motions and start living with purpose? Listen, my career moves so fast, and I was the expert at embracing every learning and promotion opportunity that was available to me. By the time I reached the executive role, I was burned out, and I realized that I just had a concept of a plan and no clear and fulfilling strategy for meaningful change. I had to go on a journey to discover my passions and my purpose so that I could build a life and a career with intention. Join us for the Burn the Rulebook Career Transformation Lab. It's going to be a transformative 3-day experience happening from October 15th to the 17th. Over these 3 days, we will help you prepare, position, and live on purpose in both your life and your career. You'll dive deep into strategies designed to help you stop playing by the rules that have held you back and take control of your future. We'll give you the tools to execute with confidence so that you're not just talking about change, you're making it happen. Finally, you build an actionable plan to drive your career forward and set yourself up for long-term success. Imagine walking away with the clarity, focus, and confidence to thrive, not just professionally, but in every part of your life. This is more than just a workshop. It is your blueprint for a career and a life lived on purpose. Ready to rewrite the rules? Secure your spot today for the Burn the Rulebook Career Transformation Lab and get ready to take action and transform your future.
And now I've got to spend more hours, or I've got a difficult assignment or a difficult boss or a restructure or whatever it may be, it will start to impact your personal life. And that's more often than not, the clients that come to us, that's where we start. That's the origin, is that there's this thought in our mind that they're somehow separate. And so we operate like, I'm going to be okay. I remember going through a divorce while I was in the workplace, and at the exact same time, and for anyone that's in retail, they'll they can empathize with me. I had to open up 2 brand new stores as a district manager at the exact same time. It was literally happening at the exact same time. And the pressure in my personal life and my professional life at the same time, it was just like you would have thought the earth had landed on my back. Right. And at the time, I wasn't as educated in understanding that it was one and the same. So I was showing up to work thinking, oh, everything's great. I'm good. I'm getting this store together. And coming home, basically depressed, burnt out, and I couldn't do anything. I had to use every ounce of energy I had in the workplace. And the impact on me physically, my physical being at that time, right? Because I was burned out personally, and then ultimately professionally, the impact on my physical health was tremendous. It was tremendous. It was an incredible wake-up call for me. But it started with this notion that they were 2 separate entities. What I should have done in that moment was one of them had to give, because I couldn't do both. I shouldn't have done both. I either should have taken a leave of absence from my job or figured something out personally. I don't know what I could have done personally going through that, right? So it really had to be the job, but they're not separate. They're together. And we find that to be the origin, is that thought that they're somehow separate, and they're not. And that could be a situation with your kids. That could be a situation even with your parents. They might take ill, or you have to take care of them all of a sudden. Whatever it may be in your personal life or professionally, is thinking that somehow they operate as 2 separate entities, because it gives us a false sense of security that we can function when something major is happening in one or the other. That to me is the biggest thing when we finally get to the root, because it takes a minute for people to get there, that they realize, wow, I thought I could do all of that and manage all of that. That's the biggest source that we've uncovered more often than not. I wish I could say that it's just the bad boss or the toxic work environment. Yeah, that happens. And that is an opportunity, and it does cause burnout, but it's often because, we haven't correlated who we are as a person to what environment is conducive for us to work in. So it always comes back to that, connecting us personally to the job.
Mm.
Are you feeling stuck in your career? Are you ready to stop going through the motions? Are you ready to start living on purpose? Well, here's the thing. I'm going to say something very radical. Throw away your goals. Oh my gosh, right? Stop looking at them. Secure your spot today for Burn the Rulebook Career Transformation Lab, and get ready to take action and transform your future. Over 3 days, we'll help you prepare, position, and live on purpose in both your career and your life. We will help you find balance. Deep dive into strategies designed to help you stop playing by the rules that have held you back and take control of your future. We'll give you the tools to execute with confidence, so that you're not just talking about it and looking at it and hoping for change, you're making it happen.